Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Bitcoin is holding nicely above $6,700. Most of the altcoins are in the green area, some of them are pretty green, and interesting things happening with some of the sort of quasi-flippening. So what do you expect from the market? Let's see. You're watching Keeping Hamster channel. Let's go.
Turn up. Let's go.
After such a long sideways trading, when it was like higher price, lower price, higher price, lower price, higher price, finally flipped, Bitcoin flipped to the new sort of area, new corridor for the price, and now it is like the borders, like the edge of them is like 6,800, very strong level, like from the technical analysis point of view, although it doesn't matter much often in crypto. And second, the bottom is 6,650. There was some kind of this fake breakout or something. You see that already the stops gave the volume here, but still we're continuing to be in the same corridor. Actually, considering the length of those corridors, if you would expect this to be this like sort of similar to those which were before, I would say somehow maybe within a day or two we will see the change of this price level, and as usual we would have probably the breakout up down or down up, like sort of false breakouts initially, and then finally the growth or the drop, like for the bigger region, and for in which region that will be like a constant trading for a while eventually. Also, we are approaching closer and closer, like time goes, and we are even closer and closer to this falling trend line, because actually it becomes this level becomes lower, right? So if we'll be continuing to trading around this area, eventually we'll still hit this sort of trend line. And I just drew this red oval, probably if we are sort of an attempt, because we still like in a growth, right? So momentum is there and inertia is there, and probably we may hit exactly this sort of area, and it will be the question where we'll like bounce down or up. And it's actually interesting because the closer we are to the end of this triangle, of course it's like very how to say, I just drew it from my hand. It's not necessarily exactly the same one for everybody, but it's like a rough estimation. So anyway, as soon as we will hit that, we probably as soon as we're approaching to the end of this triangle, right, this pivotal point, the more and more likely we will stay eventually. As soon as we'll break it up or down, we'll more likely will stay above or below this triangle for a much longer period of time. So we're not and will not return back here, or we, of course we could, but I mean in terms of like technical analysis things, we probably would have to stay above or below that, because of like this was the like real breakout. And interesting thing that, since you remember, we have this thing with Ripple, and I must take my position back in a way that it did really hold in a certain like 55 cents level, because I thought that it may very well go much lower, back like to the 30-40 cents, but it did hold. Of course it's not 80 cents as before quite a while, but it's a reasonable correction of this huge growth. And if you would consider the same patterns which were before for Ripple, let me look at them. So this thing, so it's very similar actually. So it goes up, then corrected, then up, corrected, up, corrected. So we may see exactly the same thing. Of course, if Bitcoin will go up. But the interesting thing why I switched to Ripple from Bitcoin here is that if it would make such a move while Bitcoin is still within this 6,000, well, a little below than $7,000 area, the move of Ripple may actually drag the whole market with it, or at least like huge altcoins and Bitcoin market. So like add some positive sentiment, and as soon as it will be somewhere around here, it's very likely, in my opinion, that will go above and stay there. But again, it's sort of an obvious thing, and a lot of people think that and they go long, and probably if you would like to collect their stops, then it's better to go down. And also, like on a primitive level, it's easier to like look at this triangle and then just bounce off this trend line and go down. So a little bit higher than if Ripple will not follow like extremely to the upside, that would make like additional 50% or 100%, then probably it will bounce off of that, and Ripple also will not hold. Of course, this correlation is pretty much speculation. It's just there is no real like scientifically based correlation of that, but it's still interesting to see somehow these things happened before and they may happen again. Also, I was going to mention the number of shorts and longs. So you see how after the growth, so not during the growth of the price of Bitcoin, but after the growth of this price, the number of shorts went down. So people sort of, since we held that, so we didn't go down the 6,650 or 6,000, what it was, 550, sorry. So we didn't really go down. It means that people sort of believe that we finally will go even higher. So a lot of people closed their shorts, not because of the stops were liquidated or something, but just exactly because the sentiment was changed. It was quite a huge change actually. It's now 30,000 and it was nearly 40,000 before, maybe 37 around, something like this. And the number of longs actually increased dramatically just because of the going of Bitcoin going up, and it stays the same level, pretty high level, I would say. So maybe considering these two factors, maybe it's better to go actually down. So, and then as soon as short will go up, so maybe we can continue to have this growth. So actually this growth wasn't corrected yet, basically, although it's more or less sort of natural or organic, I would say, right? But still, usually it should be corrected, and it didn't. So, and finally, I was going to mention the things which are happening with major altcoins. So I already talked about Ripple, sorry, of course not Ripple, XRP, and you see the difference between XRP and Ethereum is even much smaller than before. Basically, they're very close to each other, like $3 billion, $2.5 billion now. And it's just because basically Ethereum made some move. If it wouldn't, then probably XRP will be right in the second position. But the thing is that with XRP we have quite a chance that it will go much higher now, and with Ethereum we don't have that. So it will go probably higher, even more from now, but like 2%, and Ripple may go like 20%. And in that case, XRP will be in the second. Again, it's not XRP. XRP will be in the second position, in second line, and this will be like additional psychological stimulus for investing in Ripple and for many people, and this will make it even higher. And again, it can drag the market. Also, you see things with Stellar and EOS. There's a battle now, and in principle, like Stellar made quite a move. So if it will follow the Ripple path, then probably Stellar will be in the 5th position. Also, it's they're quite similar, I mean, in terms of technology. So those people who didn't jump in XRP, they say, okay, Stellar may be doing this, will do the same thing, and they were right. See, so Stellar is quite a nice rise now, in a nice rise. Also, Cardano is doing quite of a run up. I would say it's like crazy, but still approaching maybe Tether soon, if we'll like make 20-30% again. And also, like again, if you remember, I was telling about which coins, how market will react in general, like altcoin markets, market will react when we will have the initial stage of the bull season. So probably the biggest altcoins will make their move first. And if it is really the beginning of the bull market, then this is what is happening right now. And some of them, like Bitcoin Cash, has just sort of a reputation issues, I would say. So people not happy with that. And EOS already made some rise before, so it doesn't really have enough buyers to step in. And the other coins like Stellar, XRP, Cardano, huge ones, Dash too also. So they are having still some steam, some resources to rise. So now they are using it. Probably it may lead to some significant change in this this chart, right? So this is the thing. So what I was going also to say that dominance didn't change much from the last time I made an update. So if we will consider the rise of those coins with the same dominance of Bitcoin, probably, and it is so, market cap increased, so sort of a new capital came to the market. Maybe it's actually from Tether, but still we have some positive growth. So in my opinion, again, just to conclude, summarize, in my opinion, we may have see a rise during the next maybe couple of days, maybe even a week. And then the simplest thing which you can think of, and which I would expect, because like simple things often used to be the real things which happen. So I would expect it just to bounce off, simply silly bounce off this line and go down like that. So, and the same thing will happen with all huge altcoins. Probably they will not return to their very low level like previous minimum, but still probably they will like lose like maybe 20, 30, 50%, even 50% of the rise if it was very huge. Also, I was going to mention, this is really the last thing, sorry for making it that long today. If you remember my virtual portfolio, which I opened nearly more than 2 weeks from now, still in the loss, I guess like 10% loss, 11% loss, but you see it didn't change much. And the reason is, in this portfolio I don't have really like the coins with first tier coins, only Neo, and I think just a little of my little EOS which didn't grow, and little Cardano, but it's really small amount comparing to the overall size of the portfolio. So in principle, like medium size cap coins don't change in the price on average, right? So you can of course make it like more diversified and even look at like most of the altcoins, like first 100, second 100 of the altcoins, but just representative set of altcoins which I have here, and you see they don't change basically. So it's not like $1,000 here. It's like 3% change and go up and down. Doesn't really mean anything. So it was the bottom here, it was the bottom before, it was the bottom even before that, but still we're trading around this. So it basically again fits the idea that like the bull cycle behavior, when huge altcoins move and these altcoins are waiting when those will make a move and finally we'll get a correction. So the capital from those huge altcoins will flow into the small altcoins. So I'm waiting for that because it's much more interesting. Actually, Actually, if you remember, I was showing that electronium, how to call it, made a 66% gain, quite smooth increase, and this was a rise, now correcting, and probably will hold there. And this may happen with small altcoins as well. And since their capitalization is much smaller, it's easier to make such a rise for certain ones, because of the capital just to increase need to be very small. So that's it, I think, what I was going to say. Sorry, maybe it's a bit rough. I just had this 12 hours flight to Italy, and then one more flight to Sicily from Milan, so I'm a bit blurred. Anyway, thank you for being with me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. If you didn't subscribe yet but you like the content, please consider to do that. Leave a like and comments. I really appreciate those comments which I finally have. And follow me on Twitter too. Wish you safe trading, be careful, and don't forget that everything which I say is just my personal opinion and not a financial advice. Good luck, guys. See you.